So in contrast to the ego, we can look at our higher self, our real self, as actual reality, and understand physical reality as a simulation. Our ego, it's like looking through a pair of VR glasses, is where everything just feels real and we get caught up within a virtual reality, right? Our higher selves is reality itself, right? And reality exists outside of space and time. So our actual reality exists outside of space and time. Space and time is a construct of the higher self, of the actual self. And this physical reality, which is within space and time, is constructed in order for us to learn within it, right? We learn about love. We learn in order to expand, right? And we're multidimensional beings. So to think of our higher self as just a more enlightened version of the ego that's not what it is. That's just the tip of the iceberg. We are actually multidimensional entities, right? So our past lives, because we exist outside of space and time, all of our lives, our past lives are happening simultaneously. That's why you can go into meditation and be within a past life, because we're shifting. All consciousness is our focus on this one reality, right? But we can shift our consciousness into different realities that we've created. So it's like playing different video games, basically. So you can see this reality as being within, your ego, you and your ego being within a reality that feels real and it seems real, but actually your higher self is just playing a video game, right? In order to learn, in order to expand. When you wake up to the truth of physical reality, that it's only a construct of the mind, you realize that your mind is the real portion of the self, right? So that's why it's important to know the inner self, because you are your inner self, right? So you are a larger entity, right? And a portion of yourself is focused within physical reality, and it created this physical reality. You are a co-creator with God, so you are creating this physical reality as you focus on it, right? And you've created other physical realities, right, within other lifetimes. So, but they're all happening simultaneously, because time is a construct in itself. So, although we experience time as linear, time is not actually linear. Time is a construct. Eternity is what is real. So you can go back to places within eternity that seem to be in the past or in the future, but it's your consciousness shifting its focus from one state to another state, right? And although you're conscious here, though yourself and those other realities are also conscious, right? Where it's bigger than how we understand life now, right? It's greater than that. Our entity is greater than that. So when you tune into yourself, you're tuning into your actual world. You're and you can figure out more things about yourself, right? You can meditate and go into a past life and understand yourself from a different part of reality, right? You can lucid dream and be in a whole different and exist somewhere else entirely outside of your physical body. Right? These things are possible, but these things are naturally you. These things are what the self is capable of, right? And here in this reality, we have this veil. We're so tuned in that we don't realize that until we wake up to it and see that there's more to life than just this. You want to change, you have to focus inward. You have to focus on you and how you feel and how you want the change to exist within your life. It's all about the feeling tone of it, right? Rather than looking outside of yourself for solutions, because there is nothing outside of you. There is nothing outside of you. You are the creator, so there's nothing that exists outside of you. When people don't feel like they're less than, or they're or there's something small about them, or they're not special, you have to remember that you are a larger entity, right? Waking up to itself, right? You are a larger entity cast out into this physical reality, trying to understand itself, right? Trying to expand itself. And you're not trying, you are expanding yourself. You are opening yourself up, right? You are growing as a being, right? Because that's what everything is. Everything is constantly expanding. So as you're playing this game of life and you wake up to your higher self, what you're called to do is wake up other people. So awakening to ourselves, to our higher selves, is not about the denial of the physical 3D world. It's about understanding your power within the world and understanding that you are not subject to things that are happening of the world, that you are actually involved in its creation. So then you can learn how to manipulate energy. You can learn, because everything is energy, right? Everything is energy. Everything that we see physical is energy. And we know that even from a scientific standpoint, when you break things down into its atoms, it's just space and it's energy. It's energy compiled, right? So we have the ability to manipulate physical matter and I'm not saying that that's the goal, is just to manipulate physical matter, but just to understand our power, understand ourselves. We are essentially pieces of God understanding itself, growing in itself, expanding in itself forever, So our awakening is about transcending the lies. It's about us getting back to ourselves, us understanding love and the power of love, and what that how transformative it is. Us knowing ourselves in our higher form is understanding that we are not separate from God. You know, it's understanding the truth of our oneness with each other, with God. You know, and now we are in a state of separation where we feel alone, we feel individual, we feel like we're not connected to one another. Um, we feel like everybody else is an enemy when we are essentially the same thing. So we're in a state now where we are attacking ourselves constantly. It's a state of sickness, right? And to get back to ourselves is coming back to your wholeness, remembering wholeness, not only as an individual, but as a whole, being the children of God. Whole entity meaning every person understanding themselves. Every person is waking up to themselves. You know, every person is waking up to the larger truth of their existence. And every person realizing that we are of one spirit.